Hello everyone. This is Future. I'm just gonna go over my game. Uh, so this game was made with AI. Mostly, a lot of the assets actually are uh, handmade assets. So the sounds, most of the sprites, the clouds, all of them are handmade assets by other people. But the code, the background, and has mostly been made with AI. I started first with visual coding. I made a prototype, um, but I kept running into stability issues, or rather, um, the game wasn't running as well as I'd like. So I switched engines. I switched to Unity. And then I discovered vibe coding, and my process was generally just to um, go to the AI chatbot, give it a short snippet of what I wanted to do, and just use modular code so that I could try to control as much of the code as possible. Um, it was actually a really interesting process going from visual coding to vibe coding, um, because ChatGPT was able to uh, translate some of my visual code into um, written code, and so it saved a lot of time and effort, and it allowed me to sort of understand how the code actually was working, and I've learned quite a bit actually. So, but the main process for this game was just to um, develop an idea, sort of break down the idea into parts, um, take those parts to the AI, let the AI figure out a code, test it, see if it works, and basically go back and forth. Um, a key way to do this is to have full control over your variables and know exactly what you want them to do. Um, so that way, when you do ask uh, the AI what you want it to do, um, it the AI is very literal. So if you say you want everything to go up, it will make everything go up, even if you really only meant the enemies, or or the direction of up is not relative to the scene. So you really have to be like, you really have to focus in on what you want it to do. Uh, but ultimately, it works. So, a bit of background about the game. This is my second game that I've published. The first was more of a prototype for this game, and then this game was built for a game jam for a platform called the Aviator Arcade. Um, my end goal is to make a full release version of this game with other features, um, but we'll uh, that's still in early development, so it won't be out for quite a while. But this you can go to the Aviator Arcade and play this game, uh, no problems. Uh, this is more of like an arcade standalone version, so that you can enjoy just accruing points, comparing high scores, and maybe winning some prizes. Um, the main game is just a shoot 'em up. I saw these sprites made by one of my artists, and I thought they were fantastic. So I basically built the game around that. I really like their on model sprite work for their World War II aircraft, and uh, my my goal is to make one for uh, every every nation. And uh, so far, I have the Japan, the N1K to Shiden, and then I have this game, which is BF 109 G10. Um, I think I'll make a P51 Mustang and maybe a Spitfire Mark 9. Um, Still undecided on whether I want to go Spitfire, Hurricane, or Typhoon. Um, and then we'll see. We'll go from there. And the other goal is to try and have different types of alien factions so that each game feels different. Um, so you're not facing the same enemies every time. I'm hoping to eventually piece these all together into a base game, but that base game is, as I said, in early development. It's got a lot of features that aren't present in the arcade version, um, but I'm still working on some of those features, so it's too early to announce. The gameplay is just vertical shoot 'em up, very similar to Space Invaders. Um, there's a bit of a risk reward with managing your ammunition. Um, all the planes fire their weapons at historical rates with historical ammunition counts. This sort of semi-realism is kind of a core part of the gameplay. It's supposed to draw you into the player character a bit, while also creating a mechanic in the game where you sort of have to make some tougher decisions as to whether you want to fight it out or try to pick up some ammo or focus on defense at any given time. Um, and then there's a variety of enemies that just spawn. I didn't want to do a pattern. I think patterns, once you learn them, the the game can get kind of repetitive. So each level is comprised of multiple series of what I like to call spawn sheets, or realistically, they're very similar to punch cards. And they'll populate the level with a semi-random assortment of enemies. It's not fully random. There are patterns that are made, and some handmade patterns, some AI-generated patterns. But the goal of this was to make it so that they can be interchangeable. You might have there's about 6 that comprise the level before the end boss, and those 6 can be randomized between a pool of around 10. So there's a lot of different combinations. You'll never have the same pattern at the same time. So it really makes you think on your feet rather than just memorizing a pattern that you can just fight through each time. It does offer challenges, both in game design aspect and player experience. So I'm kind of hoping that I get a bit more feedback as to whether the levels go too hard, whether they're not hard enough, or how the spawns actually happen. I think in my base game I might adjust things, but in this arcade game I'm pretty happy with how the difficulty is. There's 7 enemies in the game, 1 boss, 3 sort of heavier elite enemies, and 3 lighter, smaller enemies. If you do run out of ammo, you can ram any enemy in the hopes of getting ammo. You get a much higher chance of a drop that way, but you trade health for it, of course. So more of a desperation move, and this is just a callback to uh, the real tactic in World War II of pilots using their planes as weapons when their guns either jammed or were out of ammo. Uh, there's a lot of throwbacks like that to aviation. Not so much in the arcade version, a bit more in the base game. But I, I really wanted to add character to the player character rather than just have you be a generic shoot 'em up hero in just the skin of BF 109. So you'll actually see that the shot patterns are based off of where the weapons would be on the plane, and your ammo counts are accurate, even to the individual weapons. And actually add some elements to gameplay as when you get ammo pickups, you have it sort of powers you up, gives all your weapons ammo, but as you use ammo, your wing cannons stop firing first, and then it's your nose cannon, then it's your machine guns. So your rate of fire generally decreases over time. So you constantly want to keep getting ammo pickups. But that's the game. There are other elements like I do have a boss. It does have two phases. It does have a random attack pattern. I put a lot of effort into the boss, and I hope you enjoy fighting him. I do think that I may have overtuned some of the level around the boss, as the boss doesn't spawn in alone. But I also think that's kind of by design. I do want you to have if you're low on ammo, the opportunity to go after smaller enemies to try and replenish your ammo before you take on the boss. But the boss also drops ammo at certain points during the fight, so you're never completely locked out. Though sometimes running out of ammo is part of the mission, so you don't really want to spam your fire button. And this is another departure from other shoot 'em ups, where you might have unlimited ammo, or your ammo might fire a few bullets and you get like a much faster rate of fire when you're up close. In this shoot 'em up, your rate of fire is constant, but you do have the trigger, so you can choose to fire your light machine guns, you can choose to fire your cannons, or you can choose not to. And so you choose which enemies you want to destroy, and which enemies you might think give you more benefits. And that sort of ammo management is part of the mission. I really like how the game turned out, and I'll show you a playthrough. And another feature, just to go over it before we go in, I did add some skins to the game that you unlock as you fight through the game. Again, really, the game was designed around some sprites that I found online on itch.io. I thought they were fantastic, and it just inspired me to make this game. So, without further ado, we'll get into a level. The controls are very simple. So I don't know what pattern I'm facing, so I really can just fight it out. Alright, so that was a good run. I got 176 kills. I ran out of ammo. I tried to get some by ramming enemies. I got a bit of ammo, and I tried to turn that into another string of kills, but no luck. There is a bit of RNG to the game. I think most things drop ammo. Most of the smaller enemies drop ammo like 1 every 10 times. Larger enemies are more like 1 every 5 times. And ramming is about every 1 out of 2 times. But sometimes you just don't get anything. Health drops 1 every 20 times, so you need like a nat 20 to get one. Get some. But that's the game. I'll try again, and I'll try to get to the boss this time. But other than that, this will be my outro. So thank you very much for watching, and hope you enjoy watching me play a bit more Aviators and Aliens Bf 109 G10. I really wanted to get the boss there, but he's a tough one. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching. You have a good one. Bye.